Wait. Click. We're going to do the how are you in a minute. And we're live. It is Monday, November 2nd, 2020, 5:02 p.m. And I want to tell you why we are 2 minutes late today. Because, and it's actually for a super great reason. Because I literally 5 minutes ago was on a podcast with 4 truly awesome people whom I had on the Lawfare podcast. And let me just name check them right now. Nate Persley, who has been on on In Lieu of Fun a number of times, talking about the election and the management of the election. His partner in crime at MIT, Charles Stewart, he's a professor of political science there. And then these 2 people who have been running the Healthy Elections Project on the Stanford side, Zahava Levine and a woman named Chelsea Davidson. And together, the Chelsea and Zahava have produced, I think it's 35 really important, comprehensive pieces about election administration problems for Lawfare, which have developed out of the Healthy Elections Project's work. And so I had them on because I figure it's the day before the election. This is the Lawfare podcast that is going to run tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I thought, all right, here, let's preview. They've been warning about problems for months and months and months. This is D-Day. Let's have the Healthy Elections people on to talk about the problems we're going to have today. And here is the part where this turns into a super happy story. I just had an hour conversation with them about how well everything is going. And Nate Persley starts by talking about the fact that 100 million people have already voted. Those votes are going to be counted. He is very confident that those votes are going to be counted. The great fear expressed often on In Lieu of Fun that we weren't going to have enough poll workers, particularly in Pennsylvania. 50,000 people have volunteered to be poll workers. There are enough poll workers for tomorrow. We had a long conversation with Zahava about how this giant mass of litigation over mail-in votes that she's been tracking, these are like hundreds of lawsuits, have actually produced pretty clear rules in almost every state. And they are confident we are going to have a healthy election, which is not to say that we're going to get the result that so many of us want. It is not to say that there won't be problems tomorrow. There will be problems tomorrow. It is not to say that there is, that like there may not even be violent. There may even be violence tomorrow. But at the end of the day, they are confident. And this whole hour conversation was about the reasons for confidence that we are going to have an unprecedented turnout election among people who will cast votes that will then be counted in all 50 states of the country. And I actually think that was the most encouraging conversation I have had on any subject in about 3, maybe 6, maybe 8 weeks. And
I won't take that personally, Ben.
No. I mean, on a substantive.
I know.
I didn't say it was the most pleasurable.
I know.
So, we are not allowed to have fun anymore, but apparently we are going to be allowed to have a healthy election. And if you guys think I am overstating this, I invite you to listen to the Lawfare podcast at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Dig yourself out of your despondency. Listen to the Lawfare podcast, and you will find that the very people we have had on this show telling you that this election is going to be a disaster and that states are going to have a really hard time getting their shit together are feeling really good about what states have managed to do. And this is not the tone of a lot of the news coverage. It's surprised the shit out of me. And I think it is great, and we should all lift a glass to it, which reminds me that I didn't have time to get a drink.
Okay, take a breath.
So I'm going to take a breath, go get some frickin' Australian whiskey.
No, life is too short for Australian whiskey.
It's not bad.
It tastes like kangaroo, Mike.
It does. It tastes like marinated kangaroo.
Welcome
back to the show, Mike.
Well, thanks.
I'll be right back.
All right.
I knew that it was going to be like that. Like, I knew that he was going to like be coming straight out of the podcast and be all revved up. But that was pretty great. It's so good to see you. Welcome back to In Lieu of Fun. It is perfect that you are here. We have so many people, and I see people in the audience that I didn't even like want to bother to reach out to them. I was like, oh, they're really busy. But we have tons and tons of people. And right before we started, I was checking my email, and I was literally thinking, like, when we have this many people on, it becomes like this cacophony of like voices and people talking over each other, and it gets hard to manage. Like, we have to have something to focus on besides just general banter. And then one of our followers, like / fans, sent us this incredibly hello. Leah Lippman now takes the lead, by the way, over Sarah Longwell.
Wait, what does the shirt say?
Better bitch than mouse.
Excellent.
It's perfect. So, the form that came in today is we had talked about like what are the stupidest things, kind of joking that someone should make up a bracket of all of the, like a March Madness bracket of all the stupid shit that Trump has done over the last 4 years. And we kind of like threw some things out that should be on there. And then like one of our fans like sent us this very detailed bracket of like, and it's split into quadrants that are like roughly like misogyny, racism, national security nonsense, and general dumbassery. So
I know why I got invited. Yeah.
No, this happened. Oh, you're not the it's not. Wait, are you the dumbass? No, our president is.
In almost every situation, yes. Yeah.
You're okay on this one. But this is just incredible, and I thought that we'd go through. So, to start us off, Mike, Chase, and Leah, if you had to choose...
Oh, God.
Okay, I don't remember some of these, so this is going to be interesting. Also, this like bracket is enormous, so I don't even know if it's worth trying to screenshot. Number one ranked thing in the general dumbassery is, why don't we nuke the hurricane? And going up against number 16, it's freezing and snowing in New York. We need global warming. These are direct quotes.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember a lot of these, but I'm trusting this person.
I totally don't doubt that it happened. I just don't remember it. I'm trying to bring in Jonathan Rausch, but he's not showing up.
No, he better come in. Leah, who do you think wins?
Is there
an upset?
Not to be a jerk, but like it depends on how we're defining dumb. Is it,
That was the most lawyer response.
It's like a real Scott Shapiro response. It was like
it's one of these written by a
Scott
positive
Shapiro show was
exclusive.
yesterday, Leah.
I've been compulsively following his both sidesism for the last few months. I guess it's rubbed off. No, but like, do we mean like a view that would be, only held by this person relative to others? Consequential in its like stakes for humanity. I mean, like there are different criteria we could use here.
We have to discuss this, I suppose.
But wait, I have to tell Mike Chase about my total crime a day moment the other day. Okay. I almost tagged you on it. So this video surfaced of these guys in Trump trucks running a Biden bus off the road, right? And somebody tweeted a image of the FBI, or a story in the Houston Chronicle or San Antonio Express about the FBI investigating it. and I tweeted they certainly should be, which I thought was kind of a no-brainer, right? And so I immediately get people, is there a predicate for a criminal investigation here? And I'm like, oh my God, this is my Mike Chase moment. And that's so it's like I get to just respond with code citations. So I sent them 594 and 241, which were the two I could come up with off the top of my head. But it made me feel like I was you for a moment.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that you had to feel like that. That's a really awful feeling. But there are lots. Yeah, there are lots of predicates. And funny enough, talking about this Kate's question about nukes versus global warming, I'm going to have to go out on a limb and say that the nuke thing is actually in the crime a day wheelhouse is actually not that bad. It's actually not that dumb, because the federal government back during the Dust Bowl sent a guy named Dyrenforth out into the desert in Texas with $250,000 worth of dynamite to experiment with causing explosions to create and change weather patterns. And so now there's actually a statute, federal criminal statute, that makes it a federal crime to engage in use of explosives to change weather patterns without a permit from the Secretary of Commerce. So there is some science behind it, of course, that you could use dynamite or presumably on a larger scale nukes to change weather patterns. So even if it's accidentally smarter, I'm going to go with that one. The other one is just a little bit too dumb. Yeah.
It's freezing and snowing in New York. We need global warming. What do you say, Leah?
I'm going to go with the global warming.
Oh my God. So that's...
Good.
Upset. We just got a tiebreaker here. Okay. Hello, Orenker. Nice to see you again.
Hello. Great to see you all too.
Is that an old... Hello, Scott Shapiro.
Hello. How is everyone doing?
Is that an old-fashioned
I just
telephone,
asked them
like
to
from the
define
pen register
what
days?
dumb
All right,
meant.
wait a minute. Somebody's got an echo going here, and I think
It's Scott.
I think Scott's causing this problem.
I'll
I'm going to mute you,
I'll get my
Scott.
thing.
So, Oren, the question is, we're doing a bracket of general dumbassery quotes from the last 4 years from the president. And in contention, and there's a tie right now, is what the number one pick is, why don't we need nuke the hurricane? And number 16 is, it's freezing and snowing in New York, we need global warming. I also want to point out that...
Which one's dumber?
Which one's dumber?
I want to point out that when you said about is one of these complicated concepts I don't understand, like dumbassery. I haven't done the reading for this call before. I was like, oh, dumb assery. Okay, got it.
What is with these law professors that can't accept the premise of this hypothetical?
Okay, but wait. Now we have a very serious problem, which is that we have 6 people on the screen, and we have people in the audience like Jonathan Rausch, and we can only have 6 people on the screen at once.
Oh, no.
And so,
I forgot that it's not like Zoom.
Yeah, it's not, you can't have an infinite number. You can only have 6 at a time. And so,
I invited a lot of people.
You invited a
So
lot of
now
people.
we're going to have a bracket of in lieu of fun guests where you ask the
Oh my
audience
God, we
who
should
gets
vote off
voted
in
out.
lieu of fun.
No, we're not. There's no voting off the In Lieu of Fun Island. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to get everybody to answer. Let's go through this bracket.
I know.
And we're going to get everyone to give an answer, and then we're going to vote dumbass statements off the island, but we're going to have to rotate people in and out.
But you guys can stay and come back in.
Can I just say one thing? Just now that I'm decided about who to pick, I hate undecided voters. I hate any form of indecision. Bunch of attention-seeking losers.
Okay,
When
so
did you come to this decision?
Go ahead. Go
Right
ahead.
after he
Go
made
ahead.
up his mind.
so do we have votes on this bracket?
It's 1-1, and we're waiting for Oren.
And so Oren, who
nuking
are
the
you
hurricane
voting
is
for?
obviously summer.
Nuking the hurricane. So it's 2-1
Okay.
now. 2-1 in favor of the hurricane.
Okay,
Scott.
there it goes.
Nuking the hurricane is beyond belief the stupidest idea.
Okay.
All right. So now we're gonna.
I'm gonna be so definitive today.
So
Okay,
I'm gonna,
Mike, don't go away.
yeah. So I'm gonna when you get like removed from the screen, just don't take it personally, because I gotta rotate other people in. All right, let's see if we can get Roush in to declare on the first on the. And we
The first one's done. We're done with the first one. We're moving on.
Doesn't Roush get a vote?
We have like 56 to go through. We're like plenty of there's lots of bracket to do.
All right, so maybe Roush gets to decide the next one who wins.
Yeah,
by
everyone
himself.
but
that's assuming we can get him on the screen at all.
Okay. So Oren and Leah and Scott. You have to decide between the number 8 pick and the number 9 pick. So apparently this is very close. Number 8 pick is stating he tested very positively during his COVID-19 test. In another sense, I tested positively toward negative, but that's a way of saying it, positively toward the negative. And then the other, this is going up against the, what's with the light bulb? The bulb that we're being forced to use, number 1, to me, most importantly, I always look orange.
I can't even figure out how to write that in the poll.
Oh,
That one's
writing
not
it
getting
in the
polled.
poll?
We're not polling on that.
Okay, that's fine.
Nuking the
light
Hurricane won overwhelmingly in the poll, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you could just put
Leah,
light
you're
bulb.
just
Light bulb
like on
haters.
your own on this one.
It's okay.
It's just
Using
kind
my
of
own
like a little
criteria
bit.
for dumbassery.
Yes.
So Jonathan
It
Roush,
is like open
Jonathan Roush, I'm sorry, Jonathan, I can't get you on the screen.
Okay, Leah,
Yes.
Oren, what do you think? The light bulb quote?
I mean, like the light bulb quote has like a strain of, like awareness to it, and that he actually does look orange. So it's difficult to write that off as necessarily stupid. On the other hand, I feel like the positive negative is something that more people confuse quite often. I feel like I'm playing the role of indecisive Scott right now.
Yeah, it's kind of meta, honestly.
To me, it's unbelievably obvious.
What's the answer?
What's the answer, Scott?
I'm not doing your work for you.
Oh my God. We really shouldn't have invited so many law professors on today.
Yeah, we're the worst.
Yeah,
I
really.
just want you to know, I have to leave here at 5:30. So if
That's
you're gonna,
fine.
If you're gonna use me, use my my decision making abilities. You have to.
Oren,
you have a 11 minutes.
Since everyone's very light bulb or the COVID-19 test statement, Oren.
So it really does depend on your theory of Damassery, and we have not specified one. And this is a closed case where actually, maybe in closed cases it doesn't matter because they're equally valid. But I'm gonna go with the COVID positive negative one. Is higher on my personal Damassery scale.
Mike
All right.
Chase.
What was the COVID one again? I missed it.
The one that he says, I tested positively toward negative, but that's a way of saying it, positively toward negatives. In another sense, I tested very positively.
That's
I think it's
That's
kind
one.
of brilliant, to be honest.
First of all, it stole the gag from 30 Rock when Tracy Jordan says to Jack Donaghy, excuse me, your test was positive, and Jack gets really upset and he says, "Oh, I see where you made the mistake. That's funny." So I feel like there was a degree of plagiarism there.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, how is this? So Oren voted for the testing positively. You're voting for the COVID test?
Yes.
Okay, we're doing a bracket of dumb things that Donald Trump has said over the years, and we're rotating people in and out. Brian Beutler, welcome back to In Lieu of Fun.
And just warning you, if you're in the audience and you're in the chat, I may rotate one of you in instead of a member of the. And here's Jeff Jarvis and Brian Beutler for the next part of the bracket.
So my choices are between nuking a hurricane and testing positive.
No, we decided on that one. Now you have to decide whether between this is like the toss up in like the March Madness, like, so this is like the 8 and 9 ranked vote. They're very close. So it's like the COVID-19 sense when he said in one sense, I tested positively towards negative, but that's a way of saying it positively toward the negative. I tested very positively. Or the what's with the light bulb, the bulb that we're being forced to use. Number one, to me, most importantly, I always look orange. So wait,
if it had been the shower or it had been
which one? You have to pick which
toilets,
one is stupider.
I would have gone for that. But given that it was just merely the light bulb, I gotta go with the positive negative.
Okay. 2 votes, the positive negative.
Okay,
Brian.
Wait,
Brian.
can I propose a methodological change? I think when we rotate somebody, two new people in, they get to decide the next bracket thing, so that we don't have spend too much time on any one bracket item.
That's fair.
Okay.
I can take a pass on
fine.
this one.
So you're taking a pass. So that means that Scott and Mike, you have to decide. It's up to you.
On the bracket? On which part of the bracket we're in?
No, the COVID-19 one. Like
Oh,
you
I
have to choose
decided.
between the two.
We,
What did
we
you say?
already
Oh,
we
I see the
decided.
COVID one.
We decided.
Yeah, COVID.
COVID.
Okay, great.
All right.
Oh wow,
So that
it's
one
a blowout. It's a
moves
blowout.
to the next level.
Okay, regarding Ivanka, she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka were my daughter, weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Versus,
Is that in dumbassery or in evil, horrible?
it's really
misogyny?
a whole grab bag, Jeff. It's just, and then
We're
that
just
goes up-
asking at this stage, which one beats
worse.
the other
In
for
worseness.
like bad shit from the president.
I'm trying to categorize these in my mind because I feel like the thing about testing positively in
Wait,
the
dude,
negative
we're
sense-
trying to pick the most
I know,
outrageous
I
thing
know.
Donald Trump has ever said.
But there's things that are stupid, and then there are times when he says stupid things, but then tries to reverse engineer a
How
credible.
long do you want this
should
show
be a
to
law
Do you
go?
want to be a law professor?
I'm
This
just
is
saying,
why I
like-
did not go to law school. I just want to be clear. I'm very glad I did not.
The premise
All right.
of this is fun, despite the name of the show. So,
All right.
the second choice that you have after the creepy Ivanka tweet is requesting that the British government move the golf tournament to Trump's course in Scotland. Which is worse?
Oh. Creepy
Worse.
Ivanka.
Creepy Ivanka, Leia?
Yeah.
Creepy Ivanka, Brian?
Yeah. I mean, like, you can't investigate that one if you're like a chairman in Congress, but the other one's really bad.
Or do you want to make a case for?
condemning him.
Do you want to make a case for the other side?
I logged in. I was logged in too late to even hear the first one, so I kind of in a bad.
He can't count for this one. We've got
okay.
3. We're doing a 3 vote. That's what we're doing. 3.
Okay,
and
3
three.
votes. So creepy Ivanka just ran away with that one.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
right.
So.
On to the next. People.
Yep. On to the next one. So
Nice to see you.
Come back soon.
so
Don't go
Brian
anywhere.
and Jeff disappear for a minute, and Shapiro. Sorry, this is actually hard. Remembering.
I know it is. I'm very sorry that you have to do this all on your own. I know that we created a very hard game for everyone to play.
So wait, who else is coming back on? Oh, Mike
Emily
Chase.
Bell. Emily Bell.
Emily
Bell?
Bell? Oh, she
Yeah,
comes.
Emily Bell's here.
Okay, great. I
She's the
didn't know that.
bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's coming on next.
Yeah. Yay.
All right, let's do the next one.
Okay, the next one is regarding John McCain. He's not a war hero. He was a war hero because he was captured. I like people who weren't captured. That goes up against, while Bette Midler is an extremely unattractive woman, I refuse to say, can't even. While Bette Midler is an extremely unattractive woman, I refuse to say that because I always insist on being politically correct.
I feel like
That is really hard. That one is hard.
Why are those up against each other?
exactly not to fight the hypothetical, but the relative metric is not how stupid these things are. This is the original frame that you were suggesting. How do you balance a lack of patriotism against rank misogyny?
Okay, so that's the question.
That is.
You've got to cast a vote. Would you, if you
It's apples
were going
and
to
oranges.
disqualify Donald Trump for only one of these statements, which would it be?
It's McCain.
I'd go with Bette Midler.
Oren?
Well, again, this goes back to our theory here, but I guess at bottom, I think the McCain comment is more offensive in a way that's directly related to the role of a president. So I'll pick that one, but it's close.
All right, so McCain on to the
narrowly
next.
ekes out. Oh man. Okay. Making the. We should wait for the next person to come in, or we have another person?
Well, they
People
can
are
hear.
Connecting.
They can hear.
Making the Secret Service drive him around Walter Reed to see his fans while infected with COVID-19 is up against. So I told my people, slow the testing down. Those are close too.
I mean, on that one, look, when the Secret Service, you're directly, immediately putting people in harm's way with active virus. At least with telling people slow the testing down, I have to assume that there's people that are going to say, yeah, so I know he said that, but we're going to not do that thing that he just said. At least I hope. I would hope that would be the case.
So
I don't know.
So which one is it?
Well, it's hard because the other one affects way more people. But I don't know. I think it's got to be slowing the testing down because it affects millions. Yeah, it's trolley. It's a trolley problem. Yeah,
I know it is. That's the joke.
yeah, exactly.
And it's an assumption of the risk aspect of the Secret Service that you don't have with these things. So.
Yeah. Okay. So
how are we voting?
Oh, me or who?
All of you.
Slow the testing down.
We're all on slow the testing down, right?
Slowing.
All right.
Wait, Brian, are you also for slow the testing down?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Okay, Oren Kerr goes away. Emily Bell, I'm working. You're like Jonathan Rausching me here. I keep inviting you, and you keep not showing up.
I have 2 minutes to make a decision.
I know. I know. Okay, assigning Pompeo to present Jong-un with an autographed Elton John CD that's autographed by Trump, or disrespecting the Gold Star family and blaming them for him getting COVID.
The latter.
Oh, really?
Blaming the Gold Star families for giving him COVID.
Really?
I think I could imagine a not crazy president giving gifts to a dictator to try to come up with a deal. It's crazy because we know that whole thing was a charade, but like, I don't know.
I don't know. What is everyone else?
Gold Star families, I think.
This may come off the wrong way, but Jonathan, you're really bad at this. It's definitely
Jonathan? Who are you
That's
talking
Brian.
To? Brian.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry.
Did Mueller just say charade?
Yeah, it's a charade.
Charade.
Hey, Tim Miller.
But obviously,
French.
it's.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
You're 2 minutes
Tim.
Hurry up.
I vote for the CD.
Oh my gosh, who just disappeared? And did they vote for the CD or not? Oh wait, no, Mike Chase disappeared. He voted for the Gold Star, and you voted for the Gold Star, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I waited for him to vote, and then I nuked him.
Not
Okay. Well, so that's.
Tim,
I
do you
guess
know the game we're playing here, Tim?
I'm picking up the rules as we go along.
We got a bracket submitted on Twitter for the most disqualifying thing Donald Trump has ever said. We're working our way through the bracket. We're rotating former guests in and out to vote on which two things are more disqualifying than other.
I want to just say that I'm slowly starting to fall into the camp of we should have defined dumbassery better.
No, it's
evil dumbassery, or it's like purely stupid.
It's not dumbassery. The point is, if you could only disqualify, if you could only disqualify Donald Trump for one of these statements, like, you know, you're going to impeach the motherfucker, as a wise woman once said.
No, that was
Rashida
Tlaib.
It was Rashida Tlaib. You're going to impeach the motherfucker, but you know you don't have the votes unless you give up one of these articles of impeachment. So, you're going to get Jim Jordan's vote for impeachment on thing A.
If this is the criteria, I would have voted for the John McCain statement over the Bette Midler statement.
All right, so you lost that one anyway.
Yeah, you did lose that one anyway.
No harm, no foul. Go on,
I'm just
Kate.
saying, adapting the definition matters.
No,
And the liberals are really obsessed with rule making. You know, and now on my new team, I'm noticing there's a lot of discussion and fretting about the rule making. Let's just roll.
Yeah, let's just roll.
That's why welcome to my world. I'm trying to get these people to play the game. It's Calvin Ball, man.
Let's roll. They've got the weapons of mass destruction. We're going in. Stop talking about it.
Gushing about the beautiful letter from Kim Jong-un and how they fell in love versus claims that he doesn't work out because our bodies have a limited amount of batteries. I really miss George W. Bush. We could never have made a bracket with George W. Bush.
As an objectively stupider statement, I would pick the second, but as an impeachable one, I would pick the first.
Yeah, completely.
Can everybody agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm still picking batteries.
Okay. You gotta
honorable mention.
I think the batteries is honestly like one of the three most charming things he's ever said.
No, because
I'm like, I kind of like thought it was
tied to his like bigger thing about genetics and genetic determinism and purity, which is gross. Even though that specific quote was,
I hadn't considered it from that angle.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's where it all comes from.
Oh my god! I can't believe I'm not even halfway done with one side of this bracket.
Yeah, we gotta speed this up.
I mean, we're not going to finish it today, but that'll be okay. At White House dinner, everyone gets one scoop of ice cream, and Don demands two. Versus claiming the police officers were dominating the street with compassion during anti-racism protests.
Impeachable one is number 2. I don't care if he gets 2 scoops of ice cream at dinner.
Yes, I agree. I vote for. Well, I don't vote.
All right, wait. Scott, you have to disappear now, right?
I do have to disappear, but I mean, this was so obvious you didn't even need me.
Okay, Scott.
Okay.
Thank you for coming back, for deciding to come back to In Lieu of Fun today.
I just say, like, just make a decision, okay? Enough with this, like,
just waffling around.
Deliberating thing.
All right.
Okay.
So wait. I've been trying to bring Jeff Jarvis back, but he doesn't seem to be here anymore.
Oh, that's a bummer. He might have left. He had to leave at 5:30. That's true. He said he could come for the beginning.
Warren doesn't seem to be here anymore. So who is... So let's... Chase is still here. Let's bring him in. Who else is still here? Emily Bell is like Jonathan Rausching me. I can't... I've been trying.
Marty Lederman is here, and there is also a. Let's
bring Marty Lederman in, because just because we can make fun of him.
And so's Thomas, our dear president from Estonia.
Oh, Mr. President is here. We'll bring him in for the next round. Okay, let's go next. Okay,
the next thing. Tear gassing. Yeah, great. Tear gassing Lafayette Square protest. Why do you just drink daiquiris? You literally look like you live in Florida. Look at your back. I can't even.
That's a good life.
Neighborhood.
You really do make daiquiris all the time.
I do. I love a daiquiri.
Okay.
All right. What's the
tear gassing Lafayette Square protesters for an upside down Bible photo op versus on Mexican immigrants, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Who set up this record? These are 2 of the final 4.
Yeah, I still say the first one. If you had coupled the second one with one of the policies, I might have said the second, but just as a statement alone, I would go with number 1.
I got to agree with that, because, one involved actually doing something. The other was merely the single most offensive thing he ever said.
Also, one was done while in the office of the presidency.
Right. Well,
And
the other was merely announcing his candidacy.
The other was done moments after coming down a gold escalator on national television.
Oh my God, I forgot that. The gold
escalator. It was. Okay. That was the day. I think so.
That is seared into my brain.
Is it? I'm sorry.
Tear gas easily. I'm all in on tear gas.
All right, next question.
Okay, claiming tariffs are a tax on China, other countries, and not a tax on Americans. And then telling Congresswomen of color to go back and help fix the countries they originally came from.
Number 2.
100%. I agree.
Can we? Do we have any argument for lying on behalf of lying about tariffs?
No.
All right, I think we're unanimous on this one.
Okay.
Welcome, Marty.
Welcome.
Hello, Marty Lederman.
You can just have my vote for number 2 all the way through. That's the horse I'm riding to the victory. Telling them to go back.
This has no right. This wasn't like there. Anyways.
That makes you a Bette Midler vote at that point, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That does make you a Bette Midler.
Don't make the Bette Midler mistake.
Yeah.
What did Bette do?
She apparently he didn't want to talk about how ugly she was, and he said something to the effect it was anyways, whatever. Why are we having all these people from shithole countries coming here? This is what I say this on In Lieu of Fun all the time. Just kidding, guys. And then that's against tweeting in his defense. Throughout my life, my 2 greatest assets have been mental stability and being really smart.
As impeachable, number 1.
I gotta go with number 2 here. Number 1 was a background quote. Am I not wrong about that? So, number 2 was a public tweet, and number 1 was a leak. So I'm gonna go with number 2.
I think we got number 2 prejudice going on here, Tim.
Yeah, I think you've refusing to pay respect to John Lewis's. Yeah, some of these are they're offensive, and some of these are whatever. Refusing to pay respect at John Lewis's viewing at the Capitol, or referring to suburban women as housewives. Stevie
votes for refusing to pay tribute to John Lewis, although I don't think John Lewis would have wanted him there, so...
I was just going to say that, and I was I really think that maybe...
Wait, the Suburban Housewives comment, are we talking about him saying Cory Booker is going to come ruin your suburban...
I think so, your suburban...
Okay, I just want to clarify exactly which statement we're dealing with. I still think I'm with John Lewis, because I have to weigh in. What makes it particularly bad is that, John Lewis wouldn't want him there. Right? And so, it's all just horrible. Right, Stevie? Yeah.
Marty?
What is the criteria again?
The criteria is if you could only impeach him for one of these things. You had to trade your vote in order to get, Doug Collins's vote for impeachment, but you could only impeach him for one. You had to drop one of the articles of impeachment. Which one do you impeach him for?
And does this assume the Senate that we have now?
Oh my God! Can we vote Marty off?
What difference does it make? Really, what difference does it make?
It's for fun, Marty. It's for some kind of weird fucking fun that we have now.
They're requesting another copy of the jury instructions.
Exactly.
Do you know my judge? My when I had the one trial.
We can't go off on tangents here. We gotta stay focused.
You're right. Sorry.
That's not what this show is about.
I was still back on the him calling Justice Barrett's children coming from shithole countries. So that's where I was. But that lost, I guess, right?
Yes, well, technically that's what he did, but that was okay. So, refusing to pay respect for the view John Lewis's viewing at the Capitol, or referring to suburban women as housewives, which is worse for you? That's it, worse.
So wait, we already have Leah's vote, so Leah's vanishing now, so Tim can come back.
Which one is more impeachable?
No, just one is this is just a fun game of the worst things that Trump has said.
We're trying to think the most offensive thing in the bracket that Trump.
Most offensive.
Yes,
Well, I wouldn't have
and
wanted
however
It's
you
a gauzy
decide.
standard,
The
man.
Housewives, because I wouldn't have wanted him at John Lewis.
Tim Miller.
Was I kicked
That-
out before by Butler because of the charade joke?
No. We can only have six.
What's
We can have
happening?
only 6 people on screen at a
Oh,
time,
okay.
and Kate invited like 8 or 10,
Oh,
and
got it,
so
okay.
we have to rotate people in and out. Don't
That's
take
fine.
offense.
I will say that I'm going to have to step aside to edit in a minute, and when I do, my proxy is going to be the opposite of whatever Tim votes for. Just going forward.
Good, solid. That'll make both of you useless.
Yeah, cancel each other out. I'll go with Housewives, in part because by the impeachment standard, what he said about John Lewis would make Republicans less likely to impeach him, and what he said about Housewives, because it hurts his political standing, would make them more likely to impeach him.
Okay.
That's my thinking, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
All right. Who won?
I would have gone with John Lewis, so there you go.
Well, you don't vote. You don't vote.
Who won,
You would
Kate?
not have. Oh man, I haven't heard Marty's vote yet.
Mine was for the Housewives.
Okay, Housewives won. Okay.
Housewives won. Bye, Mike Chase. I
Okay.
can't. I'm losing track of who is out there waiting to come in, so I'm just going to start doing this at random.
Are you just going to invite people in?
I'm
That
gonna
seems-
do one more, and then I'll just go, and that'll like.
Okay,
lighten
and
the-
Marty's slot is always going to be from somebody in the audience. Although I hope the next person will be more cooperative with the game than Marty's been.
I'm taking the
Okay.
rule of thumb seriously, literally.
Yeah, I know, a little bit too seriously. Okay, so refusing. Okay. All right. Encouraging President Z to continue with the Uyghur concentration camps, or that's actually not fun at all. Trump claimed the Continental Army took over the airports from the British during the American Revolutionary War in the 1770s. I think that this,
As
I
an
think,
official offense, obviously number one.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
We have to say one, but I like number 2 better because it's funnier.
Yeah, but we're look, you guys made us adopt a standard. We've adopted a standard. As
Okay.
Scott Shapiro said, we have to be decisive.
We're just being decisive.
Right, we're being
So-
decisive, and
Yeah.
I am being decisive about dismissing Marty Lederman despite the adorable dog.
Hello,
Yeah,
dog.
what did you
And
dog?
the only reason I'm here is that Tim and Leah don't get too far ahead of me in number of appearances.
I know. I knew that's what you were doing. You don't even know it, but
But I
Sarah
think
Longwell
they've-
is who you're
I
up
think
against.
they've lapped me by now. I think they're
No,
they're
you're
17
still
ahead of me
you're
or something.
pretty high. Okay, so hold on. The next one. Grab them by the pussy when you're a star versus wore his spiked golf shoes at church after golfing.
Number one.
Oh,
Obvious.
that one's not even close.
Brian?
Yeah, one.
Tim?
Pretty
Do
obvious.
you still
I was
vote for
gonna
number
go
2?
One. So see, look at now. I was going to go for number 1. So had Brian left,
I had to vote
would have
first just
been
so
the
that I could-
spiked golf shoes, which shows you maybe it's not as reliable of a proxy as you thought. I do have a somewhat of a moral center.
All right, Brian
Bye,
Beutler,
Brian.
you're a great
All right.
American.
I'll see you guys again.
I like your haircut.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be my last one, and I can go get a regular one at some point. But this is what I've been doing for quarantine. Thanks,
Nice.
Tim.
All right.
Okay. I have good news. These are our last 2 on the left side. So, Ivanka. Ivanka, it's okay to call her a piece of ass. And then versus staring into the apocalypse. Sorry, I said staring into the apocalypse. I meant staring into the eclipse after being told not to. Hi, Molly.
I'm totally
Molly!
for his doing number 2.
Yeah, I'm going to go with number
A
1.
real? Can I get a citation on that? Was that I don't remember. Did he say that publicly, or was that in a book?
He said
I
that on a
actually
radio
don't know because I
show
didn't
with
make
Howard
this
Stern, right?
bracket, but
Yeah,
maybe
he
it
did.
was
He said it on a radio show. Yeah, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to go with that one then.
Yeah.
then like number 1, and then okay, so that's 2 of you. I think that that's right. And then, what do you think, Mike?
What do I think?
What is worse, calling your daughter a piece of ass or staring into the
it's
sun?
It's not calling her a piece of ass. It's defending on a radio show calling her a piece of ass. It's so much worse than doing
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
It's going. Oh, you want to call my daughter a piece of ass? Oh yeah, that's okay. You can call my daughter.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to leave to take Stevie out for a walk. So bye.
Leah,
Bye,
I just want to
Leah.
thank you for the seriousness with which you took this.
Yeah,
voting.
I actually really
Can't help. I
appreciate it.
needed to drill down on what the criteria was and then apply it. There are certain things
Please
you
get
can't
some
fight
sleep
your type.
tonight. Please
I
get to
won't.
sleep.
I will not.
No, I know.
Cheerio.
Melatonin. Bye. Okay.
All right.
We're almost done. We're almost done with this side, and now we have a new person. Oh wait, so we decided that
Hello,
piece of
Molly.
ass was the worst,
Hi,
not
everybody.
the eclipse. If we didn't do any testing, we would have very few cases. Is coming in at rank number 2 versus
Yeah, that's a good one.
claiming to have invented the word caravan.
One is hilarious. 2 is hilarious, but 1 is consequentially bad.
Yeah. And I think that was just a mistake where he was trying to say that he popularized the word, but he couldn't remember that phrase, so he said invented instead. So with intentions there, I'm going to go with the testing as well.
You're not supposed to take the president literally. Seriously.
Tell that to the law professors that just came on the show, Molly.
Right.
Yeah. Thank God we're down.
I'm wearing my Lincoln swag sweatshirt.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like practically a Republican. I'm gonna have to take it off.
Well, now Ben has disappeared, so I have no idea what's going on. So we're just going to have to keep asking questions, which is fine because I'm very excited about this. We're at the last one on the right side. So many freaking brackets. Hi, Ben. If we don't do any testing... Okay. Oh, yeah. So hold on. So Caravan what? So no, Caravan lost. That puts us back up on the... all the way over on the left side.
All right, wait. Shouldn't we do should we do the rest of the vote as the rest of the bracket as serial polls on over the next few days? That way we can reserve some time today to talk about other things.
Okay, we've only done half of the first round.
Oh, there are polls. Can we vote too?
Yeah, you can vote.
Nuking Hurricane wins.
Yeah, Nuking Hurricane. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, because I think there are some agenda items that we should talk about a little bit today.
Yeah, I was told this was going to be group therapy, and I specifically canceled a therapy request so that I could participate in it.
All right, so
my appointment was for tomorrow on election day.
That's a really good move. That's a solid move.
So how are you all feeling? By the way, we have room for one more on the screen, and I don't think any of our other invited guests are here right now. So I'm bringing in the last person to make a comment, whoever that is.
Great.
Oh, whoops.
So I got to hang out with Molly now twice today.
What's that?
What?
Sorry, start again.
I said I got to hang out with Molly twice today, so that's good. That is good for my soul. And my brain is feeling pretty good about Joe Biden. I think that he's going to win about 350 electoral votes. But everything from like here in my midsection is deeply tormented. And I am having a negative physical reaction that is reminiscent of being in New York 4 years ago.
Mike Chase, how are you feeling?
I'm not great. Not great, but I think I'm sort of in the same boat. I mean, I do think that Joe Biden's going to win tonight or tomorrow night, probably. But I'm just more concerned about the tail. I'm just concerned about the tail.
Molly, how are you feeling?
I think, and again, I have no training, no education, and no knowledge, but no experience.
Those were 3 false statements in a row.
But I basically write novels about rich people, but my take is that Joe Biden's going to win, but I'm concerned about what happens after that.
So I just want to point out that we had a focus group here last night where Sarah Longwell focus grouped the last undecided voter in America, and like the most undecided voters, he broke for Biden. And I think that should give us all.
Who was that?
Scott Shapiro. You should watch yesterday's show. It was
okay.
It was
High
Scott
comedy.
Shapiro at his best and Sarah Longwell at her best.
I think Scott Shapiro is sadly too educated to represent the median undecided voter.
He agrees with you. Alice Lee, how are you feeling this evening? Oh, you're muted. Let me unmute you.
There's like a
There.
race condition with the mutes. A scary work thing came up, so I'm stressed about that instead, which is fun. So we have to get certain things done before we get the plane back. So, yeah, we should be stressed about that instead. And then I'm actually looking forward to being an election worker tomorrow with a nice group of ladies who have lived in Somerville for a long time.
So you are one of the 50,000 people who have signed up to be poll workers tomorrow,
Yes.
for which reason the Lawfare podcast was sunny and optimistic despite being about election administration. So, like, you are part of the reason.
Yeah, it's nice. I did it for the Massachusetts primary, and it was very nice.
And now you're doing it in Somerville?
Yes, yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Very cool. I love Somerville.
Yeah.
So, all right, now we're going to bring in somebody else. The next... I have a serious question for you guys, all of you. I'm not sure who the right person to direct it to, so I'm just going to direct it out there in general. Can you think of a time where, in your lifetime, where the defeat of a president gave rise to spontaneous outpouring of joy nationwide? And like imagine that we're like 36 hours from now, like it's like 6 a.m, and Biden has just gone over 270. Do you imagine there would be, we keep talking about possibility of political violence, but I'm actually thinking, like, I know DC, there will be partying in the streets all over the city.
So true.
And
it's the same thing. It's like the opposite of what happened with Obama, or the same thing that happened with Obama in 2008. Like, it was just completely insane.
Except when Obama won, it was not, nobody was super thrilled that John McCain lost. Right? They were excited because, they didn't like George W. Bush. And, and Barack Obama is a super appealing figure who moved a lot of people. And a lot of people were, but like, this will be secondarily about Joe Biden, but it'll be primarily an outpouring of joy and celebration about the, ding dong, the witch is dead kind of thing. And that seems to me really like different from anything I've ever seen or experienced.
Yeah, my husband was talking about getting a keg and putting out on the street corner here in West Oakland, but then we decided maybe that was not COVID conscious. So, I think we'll just put a Bose out there and, throw people beers from the window or something. But I think that's right. I was in New York in 2016, and it was like the opposite of this. It was morose. I mean, you walking on the streets of New York, it was morose, and then there'd be like two guys from Yonkers, yelling at everybody, rubbing it in their face. It was a very strange scene. But I'm with you, Ben. I think that there will be. I think there's certain to be an outpouring of joy and of good riddance, and there's an outside chance of violence, and so. Might as well look forward to the certain joy than concern yourself with the outside chance of violence.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah.
I don't know. I went to some pretty crazy post-Carter parties. I don't know. You just must not have been invited.
Were you like 4?
I think I was not bored yet, actually.
Yeah,
probably.
okay, just checking.
Is my suspicion. But I might have been there. I mean, I don't know, in some form, some part of my DNA. No, I don't know. I think you're probably right. I don't think that there has been that, but because it didn't happen. I think that there would have been some pretty raucous celebration had W been defeated. I think it was pretty pitched. I mean, my recollection is that we just hadn't experienced anything like this then, but people were at 11 with Bush. I mean, it was the first time that I saw the bumper stickers with the countdowns and all that stuff. I mean,
But okay, so like I totally accept that lots of people deeply hated George W. Bush, but the hatred for George W. Bush was not about things like personal indecency. It wasn't about, I mean, it was about policy and like real disagreements with important decisions that he'd made. And I just think this is a very different order of anxiety and hatred and anger, and the feeling of relief if this is over would be, I think, a different order of magnitude than 2004.
It will be. I mean, it will be because first of all, I think that Bush, for some folks, it was much more widespread and much easier for folks to say, you know, I don't pay attention to politics, and even though it was mass casualties in Iraq and Afghanistan and horrible foreign policy blunders, you know, I think that it was easier for some folks to say, you know, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. I don't think we're there. I think we're beyond that now. I think that there is no universe in which a person cannot be paying attention now. So I think that's one of the reasons it's much more visceral. Yeah.
I'm working on a celebratory playlist for everybody. I'm happy to, you can put that up here and we'll find.
I put on today on Twitter for all of you who have never heard it, Miriam Makeba singing the A Luta Continua, which was the slogan.
That's not what we're talking about.
The Portuguese. No, but this was the.
My playlist will be in English, and we'll maybe have
this was. It is. The song is in English. The slogan is in Portuguese, but she's still Miriam Makeba, and it's a great resistance song. Molly, what do you think? Tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday morning, it gets called. What happens in New York?
Well, I mean, I went for a walk just now, and they boarded up a lot of shops again. So that's something we lived through. It's funny because it's like in July, there was this one Chanel store in Soho that was looted by people driving a Rolls Royce. It was clearly like an organized thing. And then they planked up, they wouldn't sort of boarded up all the shops on the Upper East Side and Midtown, and like ridiculous, and nobody ever came. So they've done it again, and they've gotten rid of all the garbage cans. And it's just like, I find it infuriating because I feel like it's ridiculous, and it's like some kind of weird, propaganda thing so that Fox News can say that stores are boarded up. But
I don't know. I would kind of maybe board up my fancy store. Like, I don't know, honestly. Like
a lot of DC's boarded up today.
Yeah, I'm not like saying that like.
Not any more than just standard baseline level.
How about all of Connecticut?
Yeah, Connecticut's pretty boarded up, but that's mostly because of blight that dates back to decades.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's like nobody's coming. Like, it's not happening like that. I don't know. I don't think that's, All
right. So what else do people want to talk about in this therapy session?
My nerves are pretty frayed. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
My nerves are pretty
frayed. I'm a little
frayed.
surprised to hear you say that.
I got a text message in the middle of the night last night from somebody who I think would be very likely to be a senior Senate confirmed official in the Joe Biden administration.
What does that mean, though?
No.
No, we're not going to say more than that. Let's just say
stop it, troll.
A real senior administration official, not the chief of staff at DHS. Yeah. No offense to Miles Taylor, but like that does not count as a senior administration official. This person.
Can we just guess who it is?
No, or I will give no indication. I will just say this is
just finish it.
A name you all know. Super, super anxious and nervous in that way that the anxiety comes through a relatively brief text exchange, and so I just want to say,
go ahead. Can I just explain why, and then you can calm everybody? The downside risk is so bad, is why. I mean, I feel like we've got about an 85% chance of winning, right? But like, if I had a 15% chance of when I opened the door to my house and stepped outside that like a anvil would fall on my husband's head and kill him, I'd be pretty nervous about opening the door, you know, even though it was only a 15% chance. And so I think that's sort of where we're 10%
chance, 15% chance you turn on the ignition of your car and you are like, vaporized.
I'm going to start bike riding. If that's the deal, you know?
No, don't bike ride. You're going to get hit by... Okay, don't do that.
So I want to say that, Tim, that's exactly the right way to think about it. That is why you are... They're like the calm down response is wrong, actually. We shouldn't be calm. We should be anxious as hell. And I also like the way Tim has disaggregated parts of his body for purposes of the analysis. There's the up here. He's the guy who can look at the same data that we all look at and not make up conspiracy theories about what's going to happen and actually reasonably process the likelihood of victory. But everything here and below is not governed by this. It's governed by its own biological responses to stress. And and what you feel in your gut is a sense of dread that is a reasonable reflection of the stakes.
You guys, I have to jet. I thought this was only till...
Well, it is, so we should actually wrap up.
I do too.
Yeah, so let's wrap up.
Okay, good. Well, I don't want to end...
But you guys
No. This is a good reminder that it's time to wrap up. Molly, Tim. Mike, and particularly to Emily Bell and Jonathan Rausch, who showed up as per request, and I just completely failed to get you on screen because of technical glitches on Crowdcast. My apologies. Thanks to everybody who showed up. We will be back tomorrow. And by the way, if you're not going to be, during the evening, you should be watching the Bulwark live stream, which will be... you're going to be on that, Tim, I assume?
I'm going to be on. Sarah's going to be on. You should join, Ben.
I'm around. I will be out in my backyard being social with whoever shows up, but I can drop in.
Great.
I can drop in. And we'll be back 22 hours, 56 minutes from now. And until then, Kate?
We don't have fun anymore, but we do have a revolving door of guests that all decide to subject themselves to our bracket questions, the results of which you will find out soon.